Okay, so can you see how moist this cake is? OMG, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today I want to share with you one of my favorite cakes. This is a tres leches cake, but you're not gonna believe it. It's actually low carb. Now the cake is spongy. It is like a perfect yellow cake that you would get for like a box mix. But guys, it is 100% clean. These are all clean ingredients. You don't have to worry about having tummy issues. It's gluten-free, it's low carb, diabetic friendly. So if you know someone that is, just has to watch their sugar or is just trying to live a low carb lifestyle or a healthier lifestyle, then this is definitely an amazing cake for them, okay? So make sure you share my video, share my channel with everyone you know. But this cake right here is one that you're not gonna wanna miss. You have to make this, especially if you are a tres leches fan, okay? Now, tres leches means 3 milks. So this is a cake that it's a Mexican recipe, okay? This is something that you would find like at a Mexican grocery store, at a Mexican bakery, and it is very, very moist. So the reason why this cake is like so delicious and it's so popular is because it is, how can I explain it? So it's not dense. It is just like a nice soft cake, but it is like a little bit more than just moist. Like, you know, you can get a good, nice, moist cake and you're like, okay, this is good, it's not dry, but no. Like tres leches is like a wet cake. And I know that sounds kind of weird if you're not Mexican, you didn't grow up eating this, but this is one of the best cakes I've ever tried. So the base of this cake is an almond flour. It's just like finely blanched almond flour. And we do use a little bit of coconut flour, okay? Now, you cannot swap these, okay? Because coconut is very, very drying and it absorbs a lot more water than the almond, okay? So just so you know that in case you're like, I'm allergic to something or I don't have it, for this cake, I'd rather you omit the coconut and maybe add a little bit more almond flour. But I would say for now, let's stick to the recipe. Let me know if you need some type of modification, then I could possibly, make like a coconut flour version of this. So starting off with our almond flour, okay? And this is also a very forgiving cake. You don't have to worry about like, getting out your stand mixer and doing this first and that. Like, this is literally a cake that you just toss everything in. So almond flour, coconut flour. Now for sweetener. Okay, this is where this is also sugar-free. I use an allulose sugar for this, okay? I will leave the one that I use in the description below. Allulose is a sugar-free sweetener. It's actually considered a sugar alcohol, okay? So this, in my opinion, is the closest thing to real sugar. It browns like it, it tastes like it. The only thing is not as sweet as regular sugar, okay? So in case you're not familiar with allulose, it is not as sweet, so I have this measured out for allulose. If you are gonna use like, let's say a monk fruit, or you're gonna use a, maybe like a blend of sweeteners, then just use a little less, because you have to remember allulose is only 70% as sweet as real sugar. Okay, just in case that's not what you're using. And then we have, of course, our baking powder. And then other than that, everything else is wet. So just give this a little mix just to make sure, everything is well incorporated. And now we'll just go in. So eggs, but look do you see? You just basically throw everything in. You don't have to mix things in separate bowls. I feel like it's so easy. We have a little bit of almond milk. And then we have our vanilla. And then we are just going to melt a little butter. So we have our melted butter. Put that right in. And this is it. So this is how I create just like a very plain yellow cake mix for my tres leches cake. Now, this is what the texture is gonna look like. So just give this a good mix, make sure everything's well incorporated, and that is it. Like, we just made a homemade, like, boxed cake mix. You know what I mean? But this is all clean, and it tastes just as good, if not better. And then I have my baking dish, little 9x9 going on. Give it a little spray so it doesn't stick. Let's go ahead and pour it in. But this is it, guys. We literally just made a cake together. in, I don't know, 3 minutes. And now we just pour it right in. So this is it. Now, just make sure that your oven is preheated. I already have mine preheated at 350 degrees. It's gonna go in for about, I would say 20 minutes. You just wanna keep an eye on it, make sure that it doesn't burn on top. But that is it. Easy peasy. All right, guys, so I made myself a quick coffee. Give me that little energy boost. This is the one from Everyday Dose. If you've been following me for a while, you know that this is one of my absolute favorites. Now, what sets Everyday Dose apart from any other coffee brand is that it has functional mushrooms, it has nootropics, it has a collagen protein, literally 19 amino acids. You know, amino acids are amazing for your body, for your muscles. And this one here is actually good for your gut. It's crazy, I know, because you hear like, you know, oh, don't drink coffee on an empty stomach, blah, blah, blah. This one here is actually good for your gut. It's also good for your brain and your immune system. Now, this one actually gives you like that energy boost without all the caffeine. So Everyday Dose has 80% less caffeine than like a regular coffee, but you get the boost because of the functional mushrooms, the nootropics, the collagen protein. So you don't get the crash, you don't get the jitters, but you do get that like boost of energy, which I love. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this linked in the description below. I do have a discount code that you can use. You actually get 45% off on your first order. And don't forget to check out their coffee starter kits because they actually give out free gifts throughout the year. All right, let's check out our, ooh, okay. Guys, I'm telling you, not only is this super easy, it comes out super, super quick. It's okay, we just wanna get this guy out. Look at this. It looks nice and golden brown on the edges, and it is already fully cooked. You can also do like the toothpick test. Just do like a little toothpick right in the center, make sure it comes out dry, then you know that your cake is actually fully cooked. So right now, while that's cooling off, I'm gonna make the milks. So remember the tres leches, the 3 milks, and I'm gonna show you how we keep this low carb because one of those ingredients is sweetened condensed milk, okay? So let me grab it and then I'll show you how I put it together. Okay, so I have my little lineup here of our milks. Now, traditionally for a tres leches cake, you use regular whole milk, evaporated milk, and then condensed milk, okay? So those are the 3 that are traditionally used for a tres leches cake. What I use is a homemade sugar-free condensed milk. Now, right now it doesn't look super thick, but that's because I just made it and it hasn't cooled enough like in the fridge. Once you put it in the fridge, it has the regular consistency of a traditional condensed milk. Okay, so we use a sugar-free homemade condensed milk. I use the heavy cream, so the heavy cream is gonna give it like the richness. And then the almond milk is just going to give it more of the, it's just gonna make more of the milk. So these 2 are very thick, very rich. And so then this one here is just gonna kind of like water it down per se. They work really well. I've made this cake so many times. It's definitely a cake that like never ever goes to waste, okay? So we're gonna start off with our condensed milk. And then we are going to do our heavy cream. So this is just like heavy whipping cream. And then we have our almond milk. I'll probably have a little extra, it's okay. Sometimes what'll happen, you'll put the cake in and it looks really nice and moist, and then you'll go check on it and it's like all absorbed, so then you can add a little bit more. Now, some people, you might not like it super, super wet. I literally love it to be drenched in milk, because guys, this right here is like liquid gold. I'm telling you, it is so delicious. So let me bring the cake. It's cooled already for about 15 minutes. This is what it's gonna look like. And all you're gonna do is grab a fork and we're gonna start poking it. So you just wanna poke it all the way through so it hits the bottom so that the milk goes down to the bottom, okay? And it's okay, it's not gonna look ugly. I know you're like, wait, what? Now how am I gonna serve this cake? We're gonna put some cream on top, so you're not gonna be able to see that. Give it a mix. And now we're just gonna go ahead and pour. So just go crazy. And as you can see, it just absorbs it. And I know it seems like a lot, but it will kind of sink in. See, it hasn't even reached the bottom. So it hasn't even reached the bottom yet. And you definitely want it to, because then that's how it'll get nice and moist all the way down to the bottom. But it's personal preference. If you're more like, you know what, I don't know if I'd like tres leches cake, then you might want to do half, you know, just kind of do like a little, I don't know, maybe a quarter cup on the whole cake. But a traditional tres leches cake is going to be super, super like, I don't know, like moist and almost wet. I have to say it because this is a special occasion cake. This is not something that you're gonna have just for like a little gathering. This is definitely something that you make like you have someone special coming over, or it's like a birthday, or you know, like you really wanna get down in the kitchen and make something like really, really good. This is the cake. So as you can see, it's all absorbed already. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with a little more just because I don't wanna put it in dry. So I'm just gonna save about, you know, a quarter of my milk, and this is it. So now I'm gonna put it into the fridge. I'm gonna let it set, and basically what happens in the fridge, it just kind of goes into the cake, and it doesn't stay wet. It's just like super, super moist. You could definitely just eat it right now and it would be really good because it's still warm, but I don't know, there's something about like a cold, milky tres leches cake. So we're gonna put it in. I can't wait to show you. Once it's done, we're gonna do like a nice cream. And guys, I'm telling you, this is like literally 10 out of 10 right here. All right guys, so I'm getting the cake. This is what I'm talking about. Do you see how there is no excess like milk? Because I feel like sometimes when you see it going in, you're like, oh, I ruined it, it's too wet. No, look at this. This almost, like you could actually see that like it is definitely moist, but it is not watery. Like in the fridge, the condensed milk, all the milks definitely get more of like a consistency. So when you bite into it, it just has like a really nice chew. Now, I definitely have some left over, which I'm gonna drizzle a little on there right now. But to cover this up, now you could use a frosting, you could use like literally whatever you want. Every time I make it, I do like a nice heavy, like a nice whipping cream. I like to make it at home just because the store-bought definitely has like ingredients that are a little questionable. So I'd rather just throw in some heavy cream, some Madagascar vanilla, and we have a little more allulose. Now you can use, again, remember your sweetener of choice. You could do it without sweetener, but I mean, we want it to have a little sweetness. Even though this is already sweet, you just don't need to add too much because remember, we added the condensed milk, and the condensed milk is, it adds a really good amount of sweetness to it. All right guys, so there was a change of plans because I got distracted and I ended up making butter. So I was like, okay, I don't want that to go to waste. So instead, I just made a buttercream. So it's kind of like a little buttercream frosting. I love it because it's not so sweet. It's nice and buttery, like velvety, you know? This is the consistency of, look at that. So it's just like a very, very creamy, like velvety texture. So this is obviously just as little or as much as you want. I feel like we just need a nice thin layer because it's very rich. And that is it. Now, I usually love a tres leches cake with fresh strawberries or fresh fruit because you get a little bit of like the tartness from the fruit and then like the sweetness of the cake. Totally forgot this morning when I was picking up some of the ingredients. So I'm gonna top it with a little bit of cinnamon, and you're gonna see how it kind of just transforms it because it does add to it. It just makes it look a little more put together. So if you don't have fruit, then you can literally do this. It's almost like, think of a tiramisu when you just kind of drizzle it. And that is it. Guys, this right here is by far one of my favorite cakes. It is, again, this is something that you would make for a loved one, for someone that you really want to impress, or for someone that you just want to give a very, very delicious cake to, because this is one of those cakes. Okay, so can you see how moist this cake is? OMG, guys, this right here is literally everything in life I'm just gonna have to. Like, there is no way that I cannot taste this right now. I will be sitting down and grabbing my glass of ice cold milk, but we have to do a taste together. Cheers. Every time. It's like creamy, it's decadent, sweet, but not too sweet. Oh, this is one of those cakes where like every time you pass by the kitchen, you get a little bit, and then you're like, oh my God, I ate half the cake. I'm telling you right now, this one here, you're gonna have to control yourself, but it's gonna be worth it, okay? So I'm gonna leave the recipe in the description below. I will leave the steps for the buttercream frosting. Honestly, I have to say I like it better with the buttercream frosting. It's a little bit more, you just get like a more velvety mouthfeel versus like a whipped cream. You know how it's very airy? So I feel like it goes flat versus this. It just kind of like lingers in your mouth. Oh gosh, guys, I'm telling you, done. You guys have to make it, that's all. Guys, if you like this recipe, show me some love. Go hit that like button and please share this recipe, share my channel with your friends and family, whether they're living a low carb lifestyle, maybe they're trying to make healthier choices in their life, or even on a weight loss journey. Things like this could be really, really helpful for them. So thank you for being here. I love you, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.